We're talking to Corey Gibson. Corey Gibson's running for Washington State's 4th Congressional District. I'm at your webpage, Corey, and it says patriotic, united, fearless. We are America. Oh, man, I'm so onto that. Good for you.
That's right.
Flag, good morning. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Bright and early. I'll have what you are having.
Yeah.
No kidding, huh? Sounds like it's tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
Your website says it's time to stop playing defense and reject radical leftist ideology specifically designed to divide us.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk the rest. I mean, hey, good morning. So when did you decide to run for Congress?
Oh, man. Well, the decision, I think, the ultimate decision happened, it was over the course of a lot of actions, right? When Nancy Pelosi tore up the State of the Union, it was kind of a moment of how far have we come in the wrong direction in our country? And during a point in time when I think that the American people were really looking for some hope after the election, we felt like election laws had been changed at the last minute. And at that moment, when our congressman made the decision to vote to impeach Trump, it was sort of like I felt like it was a betrayal of the district and of the country. And
a lot of people felt that way, yeah.
And I've come to realize that a weak Republican is more dangerous than a strong Democrat. They've allowed us to slowly move further and further to the left. And as we can see now, it's starting to really take a toll. Like there's a fear now that we could wake up any minute and we could be Australia. Look how fast that happened.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I probably should have asked you this before, and I apologize. I should have gone to the who are you rather than why did you run for. Tell us about yourself, Corey. Where you from? Family, good stuff like that.
Yeah. So I grew up K through 12, Selah. Both of my parents worked in the Apple industry. And in fact, my first job was working in the Apple industry when I was 14 years old. I think it was legal back then, maybe. I don't know. And then my career, though, was in developing mass marketing campaigns and strategies for networks and studios, for TV shows and movies. And then I did a lot of work with foreign governments, working on developing education and conservation programs.
Wow, cool.
In South America and Africa. And
you live down there?
No. I just traveled down there quite a bit for some of those activities. And, I was a kid that grew up in a small town. We didn't have money. And I was told every single day from my parents, you can do anything you want if you work hard for it. And we do live in a country where that is, in fact, the case. And so growing up in a small town, having great parents, having a humble beginning, and then seeing what's happening to our country right now, when you grow up in that environment, you really appreciate your country. You appreciate your community and the small things. And I think that all of us right now are asking ourselves, when did we allow ourselves to get past that line in the sand?
Yeah.
The line in the sand where we're like, we're not going to cross that line.
Jeez.
Because now, they say it's a slippery slope, right? Freedom. And we're not just on that slope. We're on a sled cruising down the hill. Yeah. And what's happened in the past 11 months is unbelievable, So right now, I think really it's the message that I've been sharing with people, and the reason I'm having the event that I'm having tonight is because I think that right now it's important for every patriotic American to take a minute, pause, and really think about what is your role right now in helping to save this country. I think 2022 we're at a tipping point. How far are we going to go? And if there's any people that can fight back and can change course, it's the American people. So I think right now it's time to just get involved in whatever ways,
Okay, go ahead.
I just say, you're pushing all the right buttons, saying the right things.
Yeah.
But the question that always follows these kinds of inspirational conversations is, okay, so now what can I do? You've obviously chosen a path for yourself in terms of running for government. Not everybody's going to be a crowded field if everybody decides to do what you do. So what other kinds of steps or courses of action do you encourage? Are you able to help people that are as frustrated as you, as patriotic as you, get off the sidelines and do something that will be impactful or effective? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, no, actually, thank you for asking that. And I would like to maybe just two things. First, one of the things I think that we have to do is we have to reinstill the idea that we can give people hope right now, that there is a chance for us to take our country back. And so one of the things I've done is I've created an alliance of congressional candidates who are running on America First platforms from across the country. And the idea there is that there is a unified group of us that are going to go to Congress and we're going to fight back against the swamp that exists within the right and also, of course, what exists over in the left. But the reason, to answer your question, that's a question of course, that I get asked all the time when I go talk to people. Well, what can I do? What actions can I take? And so that's why I'm holding this event tonight in Selah. The event isn't about Corey for Congress. This is about getting people educated about how they can get involved specifically. We'll have we'll have the head of Yakima County Republican Party, Deborah. She'll be there recruiting and talking about how you can get involved, become a PCO. We're going to have some folks there that really know about how to address issues that are happening with our school boards, so that we can get power back to the parents. The whole purpose, the entire purpose right now of this thing tonight in Selah is to get people to recognize what they can in fact do to start fighting back. And sometimes just knowing of an avenue that they can get involved and participate in is enough to sort of spark.
Well, even the idea of providing people with hope, as you say, is a pretty good gift in and of itself, because that can then motivate folks to dig deeper and find more of themselves and what it is that they might want to do or how they might do it. There's an awful lot of people out there that are in our audience that would agree with you. And then you say that there are like-minded candidates, and then you take a look at the Freedom Caucus people that, have had a bit of a struggle within their own party back there, in terms of acceptance, of not being pointed out as a division within the Republican Party. So would you be the next wave of what do we call those? Troops that are called in, replacement troops, or backup to those guys that are already there, guys and gals that are already there, and take a comparable stand?
Well, I think overall, if you like the direction the country's going, keep voting for the same people. I think and then there's a real hope right now, in my opinion, hopefully, that we start electing a lot of new blood that's coming in there, not because they want the title, not because they're super excited necessarily about being in Congress, but because they realize that it's a duty. And right now in our country, we need people that are going in there specifically to fight. But having said that, one thing that the Democrats do so much better than Republicans is they remain united. And that's one of the messages that when I've been working with the local party, I have to say they have been incredibly helpful and incredibly supportive. And it's important that what we are doing across the board is that with a conservative movement, which of course is what I know a part of, is we have to really start unifying and uniting, put aside our differences, because the one thing that we can agree on is the destination, right?
Yeah.
We can agree on the
That's
destination. Right. We have to start working together on how we get to that destination. There was a time when Democrats and Republicans also agreed more or less on a destination. And now we're at the point where, what on earth is the end game over there? It's insane.
Well, let me ask you this. Because we lost some Republicans on the infrastructure bill, that they did not stay united. They chose the short-term. Well, that's not the right term, because the benefits for infrastructure are long-term. But they took the short game. I mean, infrastructure could be passed without all of the other stuff that went with it. What did you make of Newhouse's vote there, and what would you have done given the same circumstance?
Well, I would have absolutely voted against it and stayed united and done everything that I could to make sure that others didn't. But, everyone's trying to get a little piece of something to throw back into their district to say that they have a win. But what they don't realize is they're just slowly selling out our country. And that's why the idea of a weak Republican being more dangerous than a strong Democrat, I think, holds true. Because the movement of the direction we're going in our country is one of going the wrong direction slowly, and in my opinion. And the reason for that is because we don't have a strong united front. And Dan Newhouse, I don't understand anymore how he doesn't understand his base, I guess, because I go around, I go talking to people, I go to conferences and stuff, and the reaction, this is a person that they once really trusted. This is a person that they believed in. And the betrayal that so many people feel. And by the way, this isn't me just trying to talk down on Dan Newhouse. This is what I'm experiencing across the district.
Sure.
They are absolutely they're furious because we are in this pocket surrounded, right? As I tell people, we've got Seattle on one side, we've got Canada on one side, and then we got Oregon. And so I was like, we're sort of surrounded by communism and socialism to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
And then to have a leader, quote unquote leader, who isn't really giving, like, it comes back again to giving people some hope, because we have to inspire people to want to get involved and to want to be a part of something positive. And when you have leaders like Dan Newhouse that seem to be just milk warm and then making decisions that seem completely off of where the base would stand on things, you have to ask yourself, what is he thinking? You
liking what you hear, Yakima? You liking what you hear? Corey Gibson for Washington State's 4th Congressional District. You can find his website at sendcorey, Corey, sendcorey2022.com.
So for tonight's formatics, what are we going to expect? If you show up tonight, 7 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Selah Civic Center.
Okay.
What can we expect?
Well, tonight's going to be fun. So tonight, 7 o'clock, Selah Civic Center, we're going to have some parents. We're going to have a parent that's done some research and kind of talk about some of the scary things that are happening within our schools that are being integrated into our education system that parents don't necessarily understand fully what's going on. He's done a lot of research. We're going to have also just some inspiring leaders. Robert LeMay, of course, who was the highway patrol officer who left his job in order to protest the vaccine mandate.
We hear about him. We hear from him a lot right here. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So he's actually he'll be joining me. He's a super cool guy.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about how we can help people who have made those tough decisions. Because we have to get together as a community to support everybody that's fighting this battle. And then we're going to have guest speakers that are going to talk about specific actions that we can take to start getting involved. And then I will also be talking about, from a federal issue, efforts that I'm making to address those same issues with some of my America First PACT candidates across the country. So the idea of tonight is really just to get inspired, realize that we are all a part of something. We can all make a difference in some capacity, and try and arm people with avenues in which to do that and to participate. It'll be fun. I hope everybody can come out for it.